Hello again viewers and welcome back. There have been a number of Sundays that have gone past since our last pub roast video and I'm getting rather rusty, so take this as an opportunity to get back up to speed with things. So the George here in London Fitzrovia is part of one of the 3 recently facelifted pubs in London that promises a little bit of an elevated drinking and dining experience. As far as Zone 1 or touristy pubs go, it's very highly regarded for its fish and chips. However, for this video, we're going to focus more on its Sunday offerings. So I shall see you inside by the table. Well, what can I say? I landed quite sweetly in today's visit. Did ask for an upgrade as the first table I was given was quite mediocre. It's literally just by the front door in the corner and I couldn't even squeeze past the gap to get in there. But anyway, you don't ask, you don't get. You can probably see behind me, it's quite colourful in terms of decor. Now I'll give you a little bit of a footage when possible. In front of me is my menu, so again, Sunday roast video, so keep it nice and simple. So before I begin with the menu, I just ordered a Timothy Taylor's Landlord, so always, if I see it on offer, I will seize the opportunity. Anyway, on behalf of the George, cheers. And welcome to the George. Here is the food menu. Simple on one sheet of A4 paper. Not going to spend too much time through it as the menu is quite simple and easy on the eye. So one pass there. And you can always check it online if you want to further examine the details, the pricing, ingredients and such. And a quick tour of the wine list as well. Nifty, soft to the touch booklets, and these are the wine by the glass options here. It's pretty impressive in terms of diversity of grape variety and region. And I should just point, this being Fitzrovia, Zone 1 London, there's going to be some heavy hitting higher end options if you're seriously into the good stuff. And I should add that the George throw in a bottle of filtered water, your choice of still or sparkling, but there is a £1 charge for that. Going to be a huge step up from the taste of standard tap water. And if in case you haven't spotted already, there is no salt and pepper. That implies that the chef, the cook in the kitchen has supreme confidence in their cooking that you don't need to season our food. And there's a little bread plate to my left as well, so does that mean I should order some bread on the side? And introducing the first course, classic starter, Scotch egg, but with black pudding within the sausage mix, so I imagine there will be a bit more oomph and substance and dimension in the whole package. Where do I find these words from? Anyway, let's get started. Just notice the yolk is slightly runny, which is always a sign of a good Scotch egg. Cut a little piece off and have a first taste. And if anyone in this room can hear me speaking, I do apologise for the funny looking camera arrangement I have. I'm doing it for the show. Before I comment on the taste, let me try a little bit more of the yolk. I missed out on the first bite. You can probably hear the crispiness of the breadcrumb. I must say this ranks right up there in Scotch eggs amongst gastropubs. Very impressive. And we are rolling. Delicious Scotch egg. The black pudding certainly works with the sausage mix. I'm not sure what this accompanying brown colour sauce is, so I'm just going to taste it and guess what it could be. I've forgotten to read the details on the menu. I was too busy waffling as I normally do. I can certainly taste mustard in there, but with sweet and sour notes. So perhaps a mustardish brown sauce works. I'm impressed with the breadcrumb. It's very thin, not that thick, dense outer coating you normally get with most supermarket style. It's very crispy, light. And on to the second piece. More of the same, please. I'm going to resist over-describing food, especially something as down-to-earth as a Scotch egg. You're just going to have to trust me that everything is working well and there is quality content in there, quality ingredients. It seems that you are all in luck today, viewers, as there's not much in terms of remarkable history about this place. And before the George's current incarnation of it being a gastropub, it spends most of its life as a more of a traditional social and drinking hub here in London Fitzrovia, under the ownership of the Ardent Pub Group, along with its sister pubs such as the Cadogan Arms, excuse my pronunciation, from Chelsea, and the Hound in Chiswick, to which the publican Dominic Jacobs, who was once a barman and was credited for inventing some new cocktails for the Spice Girls, claims that these pubs set the gold standard in terms of public houses. That sounds like fighting talk to me. Anyway, I'm going to go back inside and see if my roast potatoes are ready. And the star of the show is here. So I've gone for roast rump of beef. 2 thick slices here, about a centimetre each. 4 potatoes, roast potatoes, some carrots, a horseradish underneath, some cabbage, and an enormous Yorkshire pudding, the size of that. Good grief. And to accompany it, we have our bone marrow gravy. See if I can get this into shot here. But let's try the beef before we dress it with any sauce, ascertain the quality of the meat. So I've got a dedicated stick knife here, non-serrated though. Oh, that's rump is not the most tender of cuts. They need a little bit more care when roasting, a little more steady temperature for it to break down, and it being thick would make it more of a challenge to eat, but this is surprisingly pliant, as you can see. Anyway, let's give this a taste. I may have to start waffling a bit to hide out the background music, as I don't want to get copyright strike or anything like that. But the beef is absolutely incredible. That is some top-notch rump. Probably the best rump I've had in amongst all of my videos, I would say. Lovely sweetness, effortless to eat. There you go. So some people comment on the videos that I struggle with cutting through meat sometimes. It's because the camera's in the way, so I'm kind of not trying to get a bit too vigorous with the cutting, otherwise I end up knocking things over. Another piece. Let's try the bone marrow gravy. Let's elevate this further. Oh, that's just splendid. There's so much going on there. You can see there's the natural fats of the bone marrow, the gravy sauce. Also, lovely amount of gloss. Okay, let's try another piece. Absolutely delicious. This is right up there, if not the best roast beef in my videos, at least. Anyway, you may disagree, you may have better elsewhere. It's all a matter of personal opinion, isn't it? You see how the fibres of the rump, how it sort of splits apart there. Just a testament of how tender it really is. Let me just rotate the plate a little bit just to get a bit more coverage. The poor carrots are hidden away underneath this boulder of a Yorkshire pudding. Let's get a carrot out there. Again, this is roasted, as you can see. Excellent sweetness and earthy flavour there. Real quality carrot, quality vegetable. Oh, this background music's really frustrating. I like the music, but it's copyright protected stuff. We're going to have a bit of a challenge to filter it out, I reckon. Roast potato time. It's fallen apart. It's so crispy, and it just collapses. A little taste. I don't believe it is duck fat or any animal fat used to roast these potatoes, but plenty of flavour. The crispiness is absolute top notch. Inside it's so very fluffy. A little bit of jigging and poking around to make sure I get a good shot of the food. Let me just reiterate this. the enormity of this Yorkshire pudding. There you go, and it's the size of my fist. But there you go. You have to chop it down to the size, I reckon. But as we're on the conversation of Yorkshire pudding, let's give you some taste. Okay, it's not the lightest of Yorkshire puddings. It's fairly substantial. Perhaps best broken down with the splendid bone marrow gravy. Okay, let's just taste it on its own first. If I'm going to be fussy, it is a bit too dense for my liking. Certain screams for gravy, so let's get that taken care of. There you go. I did mention there's no salt and pepper in here. They do have salt and pepper, you request it, but the beef is perfect. The gravy, potatoes, no need. I'm telling you what, this gravy fixes absolutely everything, and what doesn't need fixing, it simply makes better. Impressive. Okay, let's tackle the greens and the cabbage. I got bits of the horseradish mixed in there, so extra going on in the palates. Good, fresh counteraction to the main items of the roast. You're going to have to excuse the lighting just momentarily went off there, but service has resumed. Now let me just try and get another potato into the shot. Get this boulder out of the way. Oh, delightful. I'm reluctant to praise food in that enthusiastic way, as often people overreact, and I don't want to overreact, but honestly, it's that good. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you in first person the content of the Yorkshire pudding. You see, I've plenty of substance in there. Okay, another taste of the Yorkshire pudding. I'm so glad I did not order any bread. And let's try the beef again, but with some Yorkshire pudding to accompany it. Even the gristle doesn't slow me down that much. Here we go. So I would not even say I'm not even halfway through yet, and I'm starting to feel quite full. The size of the whole dish, the portions, is not the biggest amongst all the London pubs, but it is enough, more than enough, I'd say, especially with all the rich gravy and the quality of the meat as well. Plenty of going on in there. And let's put a little bit more of the rest of the gravy into this other end of the Yorkshire pudding. It definitely needs the sauce to break it down. There you go. So Yorkshire pudding primed and ready. So let's try and finish off this plate of food before we wrap up. So I'm just cycling through the items again. So back on the roast potato, still crispy. Now back to the carrots. A few diners have finished their meals and left, and there's only a few people left in this particular portion of the dining section upstairs of the pub. I would prefer it if it was a few more diners in the room, a bit more chatter and atmosphere, just to drown out the music at least, and I don't feel like I need to keep my voice down. So I mentioned the George. It's one of 3 other pubs in London under the Ardent Pub Group, and they have similar menu items. So their Sunday roast offerings consists of just 3 items, and I've already gone for the beef, and I plan to visit. The next one will likely be the Hound in Chiswick, so I will, chances are I'll go for the pork belly. I believe is the alternative meat course, so see how that stacks up. Well, I hope I've beaten the drum enough about the quality of this roast dinner. So I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this off camera, and I will see you outside for the wrap up. So, cheers. So there you have it, the George here in London Fitzrovia. Gold standard in pubs? That is one for debate, but in terms of elevated dining experience, I reckon it lends a bit more credibility back into the whole gastropub concept. Well, that's about it for today, so thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. So until that time, you all take care now.